Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. How are you on today? So for the past few weeks, we were a bit late in starting. So today when we arrived, I was thinking, will we inevitably teach you all the wrong lesson, that we're going to start late? Yeah. So, how is everyone? Okay. The weather is becoming quite chilly. Yeah. So, do take note. For the young people, don't have to take note. You are strong and able-bodied. Yeah. You all can stay up late at night for 2 or 3 nights, 10 nights, the whole year. You don't have to sleep. Yeah. The next morning you wake up, oh yes, I'm ready to take on the whole world. So this advice is not for you. Yeah. But in case if you find that when the weather is a bit chilly and you may catch a cold, then you may want to take note. Yeah. We all do things for a reason. Yeah. There's a reason why whenever parents tell their children, better sleep early, yeah, weather is cold, you must do this, you must avoid that. And then, do the children take note? Do the children take note? No. When the rest of us were children, did we take note? No. So every generation, although we ourselves don't take note, when we grow up and we are in our 30s and 40s, we say the same thing to our children. And do they take note? They also don't take note. Yeah. So human beings are very strange. Yeah, we are like that. But there's a reason why we behave in this way. And it's simply because there must be reasons for us to do things. Yeah. If there are no reasons, we wouldn't do it. Yeah. If each time we stay up late, the next day when we wake up, our whole hair turned white, well, I think we will never sleep late anymore. Yeah? But our mothers tell us, next time you have a lot of white hair. Next time, who knows what happened next time. Yeah. By the time next time comes and there's white hair, then we may think, but grow old, everybody have white hair. Yeah. So unless there are very immediate results, otherwise, it's hard to convince ourselves to do something or to avoid something. Huh? Is it because of your mic or my mic? Do we get stereo in this way? Yeah. So this is the same. Yeah. If there were no interference, there's no reason why Valerie would bring the mic over. If for no reason she suddenly stand up and bring the mic over, then something is wrong. Yeah. But if there are interference and nobody bring the mic over, then something is wrong also. Yeah. There are reasons why we do things. And later on we explore. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about purification of the mind. Yeah. We will spend a bit of time exploring why we purify our mind, which I covered a bit during the meditation. Then we will look at the various aspects of the Noble Eightfold Path that the Buddha taught us on how we can purify our mind. So let's get on with our weekly ritual. Yes. Who is new here for the first time? On my left, yes, a lady has raised her hands. Yes, the lady right at the back, she has raised her hand first. Yes. Tell us your name and how you got to know about this group.
I got to know about you through the 3 days. Which just happened
the 3-day retreat?
Yeah.
I see.
And how I got to know about the 3 days is through the public event, right?
I see.
Yeah, you were right, I just clicked. My name is Wendy, by the way.
Hello, Wendy.
Thank you very much.
Welcome, welcome. So do I sound different? I didn't hear that.
I said you always sound very good.
Oh, really? Boys.
Both, I mean the audio part as well as the substance.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Well, the substance have to attribute to my teacher and to the Buddha. Yeah. Are you sure you went to the correct 3 days? Because I was having very, very bad sore throat.
I think it's subjective whether something is nice or not.
Oh, okay.
So, if it's rough or raspy, it's still nice to me.
Oh, okay. Good. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, welcome. Clap. Yeah, she's referring to the Heart Sutra retreat from the 1st to the 3rd. Those of you who attended, you will remember I was having quite a bad cough. But thanks to all the support, we managed to pull through the 3-day retreat. Yeah, welcome. Good to see you here. Okay, who else on my left? I think you. Yes, you. Have you introduced here before? Never. Okay, introduce yourself.
My name is Ven Chuan. Yeah, I've been here before, maybe 5 years ago when you first started your heart.
Yeah, but not SGC. Yes, that was 5. Yeah.
I think long time ago.
5, 6 years ago.
First Heart Sutra, so I was here.
Yes. That was organized directly under BU. Yes. Wonderful. Again. Welcome back. Welcome. Yes. Who else? There was anybody else on my left here? Some of you attended different classes that I conduct, so you all look familiar. So I can't remember whether you have introduced here before. So, a show of hands, any of you on my left who have not introduced yourself before? In front of the Buddha? Yes, okay, come. Pressure, yes. Finally. Okay, like.
This is our second time here. I'm here with my husband and 2 children.
Yes.
Chuling. I went for the Xing Xing Fan.
Yes.
And it was Bi-Cheng who told me about Xing Xing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I got interested.
I see. Okay. Good. Welcome. How about your two handsome boys? Yeah. Just now I saw them when they were doing the setup. I saw them. Wow, having a lot of interest. So maybe next time we can rope you in as our AV team, okay? AVA team. Yeah. Tell us your name.
I'm Jin Peng.
Jin Peng. Yes. Very good. How old are you? How old?
12.
12 years old. Wow, that's a very good age. So where are you working?
I'm going TJC next year.
Oh, TJC next year. Under the IP program.
Yeah.
I see. Smart kid, smart. Study hard,
Thank you.
Okay, who is next to you?
I'm Jin Yi.
Jin Yi.
And I'm
Jin Yi.
15.
15.
And I'm in Temasek JC.
Wow. I see. So you are in the IP program also?
Yeah.
Wow, the two of them, smart boy. Come here, lagi smarter. Welcome. And last in the family or first in the family, like smart boys have smart father. Come.
My name is Tu Hong.
Uh-huh.
Same thing, I attended the CC class and then the 3-day retreat.
Uh-huh. I thought you said same thing. I was from TJ or steady. Whole family.
AJ.
Anderson also good not bad. Well done. Welcome. It's lovely to see you guys come together as a family. Yeah. to learn the Dharma. Yeah. In the past, when we go to the temple, it's usually the Amma who says, "Long long dai lai, cui zam go." Yeah. The Amma will pass down the instructions. The whole family have to come. But usually, the husband all standing outside. Then the mother, the Amma, the auntie, all come inside. Then with the small little kids, no choice ma, drag you in, you come in. Then all the auntie standing in front. And when the whole chanting starts, there's a lot of commotion. Everybody chit-chatting. Yeah, it's not that only young people know how to socialize. Elder folks also socialize, but they will chit-chat. Then there'll be some new people who come in and unwittingly occupy the seat that is occupied by some old auntie who have been there for 20 years. That day maybe the auntie, took the wrong bus or something, came in 5 minutes late, then come in. This is my seat, Or then the newcomer, yeah. So over here, no problem. You have free seating. Yeah, we will not. What airline was that? United Airlines. They have a term. We will not rearrange you. No. Yeah, there's free seating. Yeah, so you can sit anywhere. If you want to sit over here, you are welcome to sit over here. Yeah. But in the past, it was really like that. And the fathers will all be standing outside, lim kopi, or some of them smoking outside, inside temple, no, but at the edge, then smoking, then they'll chit-chat, then they just wait for the wife and the mother to finish chanting. Why are they standing there? They're waiting for them to finish chanting, then go for lunch. Yeah. When it's lunchtime, all of them will come in. Then eat cha bee hoon and curry chap chai. Yeah. Part of the reason was because the group cultivation is mainly in Chinese, in Mandarin, and then there's chanting and chanting and chanting, and then when it's finished, okay, then everybody go for lunch. Yeah. So a bit hard for some to comprehend. Yeah. A bit hard to have that entry. Yeah. So welcome. Before we wrap up, over here we have a new participant as well. Two new participants, and maybe some more sitting inside, hiding away. Yeah, come. Tell us your name. Tell us how you chant. Take it easy. Tell us how you chant upon the group.
Hello, my name is Shifu.
Yes.
My name is Eve. I've been since young. Of course, we follow the parents bring to Guan Yin.
Yes.
Then, but for the past more than 5 years, we following Xiao Cheng Po.
Oh.
Okay. But then realized that at work or daily life, when I have doubts and queries and issues, I discover I actually follow the Shen Yuan Fa Shi, Dang Fa Gu, that all the short YouTube
yes,
all
yes.
the questions.
Yes.
So I've been reading that, and also Hai Tao Fa Shi, which came to Singapore. So in office we have a Dharma group of 3 of us.
Oh, that's nice.
But because busy at work, so it's very difficult to have time, like at least once a week, come together. So I was searching whether there's any Dharma seminar or talk. I know there's many, like in Geylang, in places in Singapore.
Yes, yes.
But when I found this a few days ago, attracted to this. So therefore I'm here.
Why were you attracted to this?
No, it's like I see the purity, purification, the mind. It's just a very short introduction.
The title.
I think the picture as well.
Oh, the picture.
Yeah, and then
what picture? My picture?
somebody post your picture, I think in the setup like that.
Oh.
In the website.
So it was my picture then. My voice, my picture.
And then I look at my Dharma colleagues actually sitting in front of me, and I say, I'm coming for this. Oh, she knows about you.
Oh.
She has been following your teachings at Guangming Shan with her kids.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay,
So she,
okay.
then I come to know you to her.
Ah,
Yeah.
I see, I see.
After
Sadhu,
I
sadhu.
found this from the website.
I see.
Yeah. Thank
Wonderful.
you.
Welcome, welcome. Oh, what an adventure.
Yes, the journey.
Yes, how about you?
Hello, my name is Brandon. So I happened to chance upon the group through Google.
Google.
Yeah, Google.
What was the keyword you searched for?
Buddhist seminar.
Buddhist seminar.
Yeah, because I happen to got an interest in Buddhism.
Uh-huh.
So I'd like to know more about it. So that made me came here to
Oh.
study about it.
Wait, so you mentioned seminar also, and now you say that you searched for Buddhist seminar.
Buddhist seminar in Singapore.
Oh, I didn't know. Yeah, under Eventbrite, huh? Did you find us through Eventbrite also?
Actually Google.
Google. Directly through Google.
Eventbrite.
Oh, Google then linked to Eventbrite.
Yeah, the link.
Wow, okay. Very good. Welcome.
Or you can type spiritual.
Huh?
Spiritual.
Spiritual. So what else should we put inside? Money. You know, sometimes we come up with funny, I mean not we, but some other groups. I know that there are some venerables, they will come up with topics like, how can we get rich? It's not that we all want to talk about money, no, but because we know that people sometimes have that need. Huh? We have that need for money, we have that wish for this and that. So we put in some of these keywords. But SGC, for this group, this is called SGC, Spiritual Group Cultivation. We sometimes, we are a bit more boring. Boring in a way that our title, we don't try to make it too flowery. Yeah, so you get what you get. Yeah, and today's topic, oh wait, before I continue, anybody else from my right side who is here for the first time? Yes, come. Yes. Do not be mistaken. The hairstyle may look similar. Come, introduce yourself. Tell us your name.
Hello. Hi, my name is Wunya. I know this through Jocelyn.
Where is Jocelyn? Who is Jocelyn? Raise your hand. Jump around. No. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been here one time for the urban retreat, a one-day retreat.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so this is my second time here.
Ah.
Yeah.
So you heard it from her.
Yeah, I also heard from her. Everything about here I heard from Jocelyn.
I see. So give her some bun later. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Yeah, Woon also join us on Sunday morning for something called ITBW, but it's a very high requirement group. Okay, who else is here for the first time? Let me see. I think the two of you have introduced yourself before, right? Melita and what's your name? You disappeared for a while, but then I might later talk to you. Who else is here for the first time? Usually, a very easy giveaway is that most ladies who come here in the blend makeup. So suddenly I see a lady with red lipstick, then I know, must be new. Yeah, but I have nothing against girls with red lipstick, okay? Tell us your name.
Charlotte.
Hello, Charlotte.
Hello.
Yes, Charlotte sounds like a red lipstick person. Okay, jokes aside. Tell us how you got to know about this group.
Through my friends, she links on my left.
On your left.
Hello everybody, I'm Celine.
Are you here for the first time also?
I've actually been here for 4 to 5 times, I think.
But have you introduced before?
I can't remember.
Can't remember. Okay, then introduce now.
I'm Celine. I got to know about this group through my friend Ewan.
Ewan. Where is Ewan? Ewan, I know. I've seen her many times. Yeah. So Ewan, have you introduced? You have. Okay, you're safe. Okay. So welcome. Welcome to SGC. Who else? Who else? Yeah, some of you sometimes sit there quietly, happily. Yeah, I will find out. All right, everybody happy? Introduced? Okay, we can go back now. No, we just got started. So very quickly, today's topic, purifying our mind. Yeah, the purification of the mind. This is the part of the series on the Noble Eightfold Path. As I've shared before, the Noble Eightfold Path is described as the middle way. Yeah, it avoids the extremes of indulgence into sensuality. It also avoids the extremes of the extreme asceticism. Yeah. So this middle way, given that it's called the way, so the Noble Eightfold Path, called a way, where does that lead us to? Does it lead us to JB? Does it lead us to, I don't know, lead us to outer space? Where does it lead us to? So in the Buddha's teaching, he shows us this path, this way, as a means, as a way to the eradication, the cessation of suffering. So in Buddhism, the ultimate goal is this. We usually call it nirvana or nibbana. Yeah, but regardless of the name, it is the way to end suffering. But in today's context, many people feel that, Sifu, how can you just keep on talking about suffering? Yeah. So some people rephrase this and say, this is the way to true happiness. Sounds better? Yeah, some people say, sounds better. Whichever you want to phrase it, I don't really mind or care. Yeah. But if you consider the Noble Eightfold Path, it is the core of the Buddhist teaching and practice. Yeah. So today we are on the last part of this segment. The Noble Eightfold Path being 8 parts. Yeah, it's called Noble Eightfold Path because there are 8 parts to it. We have gone through the first 5 parts. The first being right view, followed by right intention. Right view is the purification of our mental actions. Yeah, but we have not removed wrong view yet. We are just temporarily borrowing the right view of the Buddha to supersede the wrong ideas we may have. But don't be so quick to dismiss your ideas as right or wrong, but to just test drive what the Buddha has discovered and expounded. Then with that, try it out. That's the most important thing about Buddhism, is to try it out. Because Buddhism cannot be experienced or cannot be cultivated simply by hearing and then believing. Yeah. Buddhism needs to be heard and then analyzed, if you will, reflected, contemplated upon, for us to have a deeper understanding. Then practice so that we can realize. So with these 2 as a basis, then last week we covered 3 other factors, namely right speech, action and livelihood. We covered some of them in brief. Why? Because we have covered these topics several times before. Yeah. Right speech just maybe a few months back. Right action we've covered numerous times. It is the first 3 of the 5 precepts. Early on, when we come in and we have our puja, we recited the 5 precepts, Panchasila, remember? Yeah, starting with Panatipata, Viramani Sikapadam Samadhiyami, and ending with Sura Miraya Majjapamatatthana, and so on. So we covered all that last week. This week, we're going to start on the 3 final factors. If you consider the previous one, speech, action, and livelihood, this is about body and speech. Yeah. So in the first 2 segments of the Noble Eightfold Path, we purify our mind. Yeah. So the first part, right view, and then not purify the mind, purify the view. Yeah. Purify the view, plus purify the, what do you call that? The what do you call that? The greed and hatred. Yeah. Through that purification, we, in a way, we borrow the wisdom of the Buddha. Then we purify speech and body. And now, this segment, we purify the mind. Doing this purification, there's no ritual. Because sometimes when we hear purification, then we think, oh, there's some ritual. No, there's no ritual. If there's any ritual, it is consistent practice, consistent alertness, consistent effort. Yeah? To put in consistent effort every day to check the mental qualities. Check what is happening in our mind. Think about it. Do you all check your bank account frequently? It depends. If you expect it to go up, then you check. Yeah. If you don't expect it to go up, check for what? Yeah. But there are some other things we check very frequently also. We check our fridge. Yeah. It is as though the fridge after 15 minutes will just suddenly have new things, You just check it, and then after that we come back, watch the TV, TV series, and after that, when there's advertisement, we go back and check again. Hello, bonjour. Did anything change while I was away? Yeah. Did you get anything new? We keep checking. There are many things we check in our life. Yeah. We ask our children, check your homework. Yeah. When we are driving, the people sitting in our car ask us to check the direction. Yeah. We check so many things. But there's one thing we don't really check. Sometimes we check, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we forget to check. Check the quality of our mind. The first part of this series, the first one of this series, but which is actually number 6. Yeah, 6, 7, 8. This is like Star Wars, different episode. So this is episode 6. Episode 6 is right effort. Yeah. Now usually when we think of the word right effort, we think of what? We think of using our hands, put in effort. We think of putting in our time to put in effort. Yeah. So sometimes when you look at the English word, it can be a bit misleading. Yeah. But if you really think about it, effort can be mental effort. Yeah. In this case, it's talking about mental effort. Putting in the effort to check your mind. Yeah. Check the mind for what? Check the mind for wholesome and unwholesome states. But not just that. It is not simply checking the mind for wholesome and unwholesome states. To begin with, what is wholesome, unwholesome states? That we covered 2 or 3 weeks ago under the first factor of right view. Under right view, we covered what is wholesome, what is unwholesome, as the Buddha has observed, as the Buddha has taught. Yeah. Using that as a basis, then we check our mind. Why is that important? So this is very interesting because it is not that we don't check our mind. Yeah? It is because sometimes our standard of what is wholesome and unwholesome may not be relevant to reality. Since young, I've heard people say this. I've heard many usually uncle, auntie usually don't say this. Uncle will usually say, "Aiya." Usually the uncle will say this to the wife. The uncle will say, because the wife always go temple, then the uncle will say, "Aiya, 拜嗬，差不多就好。善嗬，淡薄就好，咪較過善，咪避善。人做人嗬，心肝好就好。" Yeah, have you all heard people say that? Yeah. But if you think about it, well, since most people think in this way, then there shouldn't be anybody doing stupid things, right? Then there shouldn't be family violence, isn't it? Then there shouldn't be people quarreling. There shouldn't be any bad things happening in the world. But there are bad things happening in the world. Not just accidents, not just disaster, tragedy, natural disaster. No, but man-made problems. So how can it be? If everybody sim guan ho the ho, then there shouldn't be all this problem. But unfortunately, everybody's idea of what is sim guan ho is different. You understand Hokkien? Don't know. 廣東人嚇。心咩啊？心嚇？心重啊？嚇？sim guan how to say in Cantonese？ 嚇？心重好就好啊，係咪啊？Correct 啊 ？Something like that 啊。My Cantonese is hapasik ah. Yeah. Oh, same. Okay. Yeah, I learned Cantonese from watching television. Yeah, way back in the 80s when I watched 天龍八部, 天龍八部, 天宇丟. Yeah. So after watching many series, you know Cantonese. Oh, you don't even have to go for class. Yeah. So that's the thing, you know. Most people have a sense of what is good and bad, what is right and wrong. But the trouble is sometimes our sense of what is right and wrong may be subjective. May be subjective. Give you an example. Some people feel that if you are feeling a bit weak, again, some uncle said, today is the uncle bashing day. But don't worry, today no uncle, all of you are young men. So I've heard before some uncle, I think maybe sometimes men exaggerate. Then they say, wow, they tell each other, all the uncle tell each other about the stories they go through, you know. They say, wow, they go Thailand, they go Taiwan for the army training, then they eat the snake, what, you know. Yeah, but among them, do they feel that that's something wrong? They don't necessarily feel that that's something wrong, but they also feel that sim guan ho de ho. Yeah, so the notion of having a good heart may vary from people to people. So let me help you ask a question. You may then ask, so since everybody's definition of what is good heart and what is bad heart varies, why should the Buddha's definition be any better or different? Have you ever thought about this? Yeah? After all, we seem to be just using what he shared as a benchmark, isn't it? So, to start off with, we need to sort of examine, which we examined already, yeah, way back in the episode, the first episode, on right view. Yeah, we consider, okay, what did the Buddha say about what is wholesome and what is unwholesome? He said, he observed and he taught that, okay, killing is unwholesome, yeah, stealing is unwholesome, engaging in sexual misconduct is unwholesome, and so on. Yeah. So the question is, if you ask yourself, well, what is the basis for that? In various sutta, the Buddha explained. He said, he has a very simple question. He says, consider this. If someone were to physically harm you, if someone were to threaten your life, would that be good? No. No, huh? Very good. Yeah. We don't want harm to come to us, neither does other sentient being. Yeah. We don't want our possessions to be taken away, neither do others. That is the basis for wholesome and unwholesome. Now, I won't go into too much details. Yeah. For more information, you can check out our excerpts on the chapter, on the episode on right view, where we'll cover that. Now the question is now, if you observe that there is wholesomeness in your mind, or if you observe that there is unwholesomeness in your mind, or perhaps you observe that there's no unwholesomeness that has arisen, or if you observe that there is wholesomeness that has arisen, what should you do? Because that's where effort is applied. I know that that's quite a mouthful. To begin with, wholesome, unwholesome is quite long. Yeah. Can you all remember everything? Today is a very special day. Today is a day to train you all in terms of your memory, to listen and to retain it. Yeah. Because if you just listen and you forget it, then it's just a passing remark. Yeah. In order for you to transform what you have heard into knowledge, you need to retain it. Otherwise, it's not knowledge. Otherwise, it's just a passing remark. It's just an idea. It's just a 边风. Yeah. So can you all remember? Wholesome, unwholesome. What to do with it? Wholesome, arisen, non-arisen. And then you have unwholesome, arisen, non-arisen. Simple? Yeah? So, more correctly, you have wholesome, unwholesome, arisen, unarisen. So there's actually a four verses. Yeah? Try to remember. I'm going to say it in Mandarin. Okay? We'll start off with the unwholesome. So, 这个未生恶，令不生。未生恶，令不生。Don't try to understand first. Let me teach you all something. When you hear something, don't try to understand first. Try to remember first. Yeah, we're always very eager to try to understand and figure out. Huh? You don't want to let them train themselves. Can you all remember? Oh wait, how many of you don't understand Mandarin? All the kantang. Wow, today quite a lot of kantang. Okay. Never mind, I just read through first. I just recite through. Then later I go through in English, okay? Yeah. Can? Say yes. Yes, so no choice. So, 未生恶，令不生；已生恶，令减除；未生善，令生；已生善，令增广。What's so long? That's why not many of us attain enlightenment. This is only one part of the 8 factor. And then there's the 37 factor of enlightenment. Yeah. And you must know, no? When I recite in Chinese, it's shorter. Only a few words. Okay, in English, unarisen unwholesomeness, put in effort for it not to arise. Arisen unwholesomeness, put in effort to reduce and remove it. Unarisen wholesomeness, put in effort for it to arise. Arisen wholesomeness, put in effort for it to grow and bloom. Yeah, can you remember? Can you all recite the whole stanza? Let me teach you an easier way. This is called the chocolate and dog shit. Yes. Imagine if you have chocolate. In this case, I will use 小叮当 biscuit. So it's up to you. No, it's not up to you. We're going to use dog shit, dog poo, to represent. Which one do you want to use it to represent? Wholesomeness or unwholesomeness? Of course, dog poo represent unwholesomeness. Some of you may be quite twisted. Yeah. You want to use 小叮当 to represent unwholesomeness. Yeah, and then dog poo wholesomeness. Yeah, that's called this twisted. So, of course, did any of you bring dog poo today? Now, if you did, you shouldn't raise your hand. you should see me after this. You need professional help. Unless you have been walking your dog in the morning and you are a civic conscious person and you pick up your dog poo, yeah, after your dog, yeah. In which case you are servant to your dog. Just so you know. And since nobody brought dog poo, I will use this to emulate dog poo. There are many stories about dog poo. Where shall I start? Okay, let me just go through that very swiftly. To begin with, the dog poo story starts in this way. Imagine if you were to be out in a park, and because it being a park, sometimes owners walk the dog, and sometimes the dog will poo there and the owners don't pick it up. So you're there, maybe it's your me time, you're there walking in the park by yourself, relaxing, having a very nice, Sunday afternoon or something after SGC, very reflective. And then walk, and then you look down, and you saw what happened? You step on dog poo. What do you do when you step on dog poo? Huh?
Wash it away, the dog poo.
Huh?
No, wash away.
Oh, wash. I thought you said eat away the dog poo. I was like, wow, very mental. Okay, yeah, you wash away the dog poo. Yeah. If you're at a park, what many people would do, perhaps, some people maybe, you will go onto the grass patch and then tap dance there. Do moonwalk to try to clean away the dog poo onto the grass patch. Yeah. Then you may rationalize it to yourself. I'm nourishing the plants. Yeah. But what if after doing a few times of moonwalk, the dog poo is not clean? What will you do? You will try to wash it away. What if after washing it, I don't know what the dog ate. Would you do a sniff test?
Oh.
I mean, just to be sure, right? Would you do it? You wouldn't do it. But let's say without doing a sniff test, even at the distance, you can smell the stench. The kind of very creamy smell. Yeah. What would you do? Would you wear the shoe? And let's say maybe it's a slippers.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, wants
Maybe it's those sandals, open sandals, and then you step and then a bit of a dog poo come over. Yeah, so would you throw the sandals away?
Oh shit.
How many of you, disgusting people, how many of you would still use it, even though you can still smell, and maybe the color stain, the sandals a bit. How many of you would still use it? Really? How many of you would just throw it away? How many of you would secretly use it but not raise your hand? You disgusting people. No. Let's not be so judgmental. It's okay. You can still be my friend. You can still come attend SGC. Now, what if, would you, after stepping on the dog poo, maybe take a piece of tissue and then clean it up, and let's say you were very successful with it. You managed to clean up all the dog poo. Would you then just very casually throw it into the rubbish bin? How many of you would then throw it into the rubbish bin, the dog poo? It's not a trick question, just throw it away. Yeah, you would. But instead of that, how many of you would carefully wrap it up and then keep it in your pocket? But before you answer why you would do that, let me answer it for you. Well, you see, in today's society, people are very skeptical in dog poo. If you tell your friends that you step in dog poo, they may not agree or believe you. So you got to keep it, just like how you take a picture. Yeah, but if you take a picture, there's no physical proof. So you do need to keep your dog poo, to verify. So you keep your dog poo, and then you go back home. Yeah, and along the way you can smell the stench. And when you go back home, you tell your family, you tell your friends, you tell everybody, your neighbor, including the neighbor's dog, that you step on the dog poo. But what if your friends, your family members and your neighbor is not convinced. Haha. This is where the dog poo comes in and you take it out and you open it up and you say, this is the proof. See, I stepped on dog poo. This is why you have to keep it. Do you do that? No. Why not? We never do that. And again, if any of you whatsoever ever do this, don't raise your hand, see me after this. But what if after showing your family, you show your mom, you show your dad, you show your sister, your siblings, your children, and they say, hang on, and they go into the cupboard, open up the shelf, pull out the drawer, lo and behold, there's a whole stack of other tissue paper with dog poo on it. And they say, mine is even bigger than yours. And they take out pile after pile. They show you all the different collection. This was from 1998. During the economic crisis, I went out for a walk, I was retrenched, and then I stepped on dog poo. I kept it until today. I was waiting for this day to share with you. That would be hilarious, is it? No, actually it will not be hilarious. It will be scary. The truth is, we do that. We don't do that with real physical dog poo. We do that with emotional dog poo. We do that with unwholesome states of our mind. We do that with anger in us. When we accidentally think about it, why did Sifu use dog poo? Because last I checked, no sane person go out for a walk planning to step on dog poo. You never hear someone, you never see someone take a picture of him stepping on dog poo and say, yes, finally I got one. I got lucky today, I stepped on one finally. It is always by accident, unplanned. Something else is similar to this, and it is when we get angry. We usually don't plan to get angry. At least when you are not angry, you don't plan to be angry. Hello. When a little girl wants to go somewhere, like the toilet, she's going to go. When we get angry, it's like dog poo arising in us. Dog poo represents all the nasty states of our mind, the unwholesome states, the angry states, the craving state, the jealous state, the envious state, the unhappy state, the frustrated, the state, all sorts. And what do we do when it arises? Do we clean it out immediately? No. We keep it, we protect it. When our friends try to take it away from us, try to tell us, don't be angry. When they say that, they are trying to take away the dog poo. But we say, no. Before you take it away, let me tell you why I need to keep this here. Let me tell you how this person has been nasty to me. Let me tell you the whole story. You don't know the whole story. That would be like us saying, keeping the shoe with the dog poo, the tissue with the dog poo, and our family members like, why are you keeping all this? Then, no. You have no idea. You have no idea how nasty that dog poo was. Let me tell you how I went for the walk and how I stepped into it. That's what we do. But in real life, sometimes when we share our grouses, when we rant, the funny thing is that our family members, our friends, to show support for us, they also share with us their dog poo. When you share, when good friends meet up for tea, what do we share? We share about where we will go for holiday, and also nasty our bosses. And when we tell when we meet up with our friends, and our friends ask us how's life, and we say, oh, life is okay, but recently I changed my job, the new boss, like this, like that. Then what do our friends say? Our friends say, not so bad, I tell you my worst. That is when your friend take out his or her bag of dog poo. So as we share, then what happened? Smell. Oh. Now imagine, but today we're going to bring that example one notch higher. Instead of having dog poo arise in your mind, imagine this is wholesome state. This is very cute Doraemon biscuit that Xiu Ming has made, offered to share with some of us. Now imagine this is wholesome states, and imagine the dog poo is unwholesome state. Now imagine, remember the verses we went through just now? 未生恶令不生. So 未生恶, it means unwholesome states that has not arisen. In other words, dog poo that has not arisen. Not arisen where? Biscuit, where do you put the biscuit?
In your mouth.
Yes, put biscuit in your mouth. How about dog poo? Where do you put the dog poo? Throw away. So 未生恶, that means dog poo hasn't arisen in your mouth. 令不生, don't let dog poo go into your mouth. Make sense or not? Do you want dog poo in your mouth?
No.
Don't say no. Only Annette say no. How about the rest of you? You all secretly want dog poo in your mouth. 未生恶令不生以生恶. What if accidentally someone shove dog poo into your mouth? What must you do?
Vomit out and spit it out.
Very good. Give her a round of applause. Do you need to attend Dharma class to know this? Think about it. Very, very visceral, very simple, very straightforward. Yeah? Do you need to attend Dharma class? Do you need to take a diploma course in Buddhism? To know that if someone, somehow, let's say you're taking the train, you're very so tired, and someone, then you suddenly wake up with your dog poo in your mouth. And what are you going to do? Do you spit it out first? Let me give you, don't be so quick. Option A, spit it out immediately. Yeah. Option B, find out who put it inside. Option A or B? A. Anyone choosing option B? You wouldn't, isn't it? Would you even bother who put it in? Would you say, no, before I spit it out, let me find out, is it a Chihuahua or Bulldog? Or is it a Rottweiler? What kind of dog? What did he eat before that? You wouldn't, isn't it? So, if you can understand and see unwholesome states, just like dog poo, then the moment it arises in your mind, you cannot hesitate. You have no time to think, wow, who made me angry? Why you want to make me angry? Why did you do this? Why do you have no time? You quickly take out the anger. When you have evil, unwholesome states in your mind, you don't think who caused this to happen. Don't care whether it's your fault or his fault or whose fault. You clean it up first. Just as if you understand unwholesome states to be like dog poo. It's that simple. Do you need to attend to have a bachelor's degree in Buddhism? You don't need to. Yeah? Even our dear small kids, do you need to? You don't need, right? What must you do if you find dog shit in your mouth? I hope you never find dog poo in your mouth. Yeah, except maybe the fake chocolate dog poo. How about Xiao Ding Dang biscuit? 未生善令生. Yeah, if Doraemon biscuit is not in your mouth, what must you do? Assuming if you like Doraemon biscuit, okay? Maybe you don't like Doraemon biscuit. Maybe you like chocolate. But chocolate look like dog poo. Yeah? Think of your favorite food. Before you have your favorite food in your mouth, what must you do? Assuming that you're hungry. And assuming you don't care about putting on weight. What must you do?
Eat it.
No, you haven't had it in your mouth. Don't be so quick. You don't have chocolate in your mouth, what must you do? Go and find chocolate. Then, yeah, so 未生善令生. If you find that, hey, currently, it's been a few days, no evil and wholesome states have arisen. Do not be complacent. Do not think, what sim gua ho the ho, I never harm people, okay already. No, that's not sufficient. You must consider, it's been a few days since I have had the thought of charity, that the thought of kindness towards others. It's been a few days since, a few moments even, that I have any thoughts of compassion for others. It's been a few days since I have any tranquility in my mind. I must quickly develop that. Now we should think in this way. If any of you think that, this is too tough, that's why not many people attain enlightenment. Yeah. But every day of the year, there are people going overseas. Yeah. You see, people put in effort. For them, if I have not gone for a trip this year, I must quickly go for a trip. If I've gone for a trip already, I must go longer. Yeah, but we don't think about it in terms of our mental states. So how about, if there are wholesome states that has arisen, we must put in effort for it to grow and blossom. Yeah. If you have one chocolate, are you satisfied? No, you must have 2 chocolates. Yeah. But maybe chocolate is not so good for your health. But wholesome states, if you find that, recently you have been cultivating wholesomeness, but you must not think that that is sufficient. You must not be complacent or contentment. Some people will tell me, sometimes Buddhists are very cute. When we first learn, then they immediately say, "Hey, Shifu, I have meditated for a while already. I don't want to meditate anymore." How long have you meditated? 3 days. But that's so short. No, Shifu, contentment. Contentment should not be applied on wholesome things, okay? On your cultivation, you should not have contentment so easily. Yeah. When should you have contentment? When you have attained. Yes. What has to be done has been done. A holy life has been lived. Yes, there's no further becoming, nothing left to do. Then you can sit back and say, okay, I've done my dues. I've done my dues. Yeah, but we usually apply the teachings in opposite ways. We are supposed to have contentment in what we have. We are supposed to put in more effort, more energy in cultivation of wholesome state. Here we twist around. We go and apply contentment. We're supposed to let go of our attachment. We don't let go of our attachment. But of course, Sifu also don't tell people to let go. Yeah. Why? Because not so easy. That is another episode. So, this part on what do you do with what happened?
No, this is very much.
My battery is okay. Okay. How is it still noisy?
Can maybe say something?
Hello.
I think it's better.
It's better, okay. So it's actually very simple. Just remember 2 things. Chocolate and dog poo. If you don't like Doraemon biscuit, just think chocolate and dog poo. Okay? What must you do with dog poo? If you don't have dog poo in your mouth? Still have to think so long.
No, throw away dog poo.
Yeah. If someone tries to shove dog poo in your mouth, what must you do?
Stop it before.
You must prevent dog poo from appearing in your mouth. Not just appearing, coming close to your mouth. Yeah? If someone says, okay lah, don't put inside, just put outside. Just smear here, can? Can? Can, Zai can? Gogo, smear here, can? Cannot. Very simple. If someone shove it into your mouth successfully, what must you do?
Stop.
Spit it out.
Spit it out.
Stop, spit it out. Very simple. You don't have to learn complicated Dharma teachings or what. Go and go for a PhD. Don't have to. Yeah. Dog poo, who don't understand? Chocolate? If you don't have chocolate, go and find chocolate. Eat chocolate. If you have chocolate, very nice, have more. But don't go and, 3 weeks later, next year, when you come back, yeah, that is a metaphor, okay? Don't eat the real chocolate. Yeah. The chocolate represents wholesomeness, then the dog poo represents unwholesomeness. If you can do this, then it will in turn help, by purifying the mind in this way, it will help you with your practice of the earlier factors also. Yeah. And it will form the basis for the next section, which is mindfulness. In many communities, mindfulness has become synonymous with the only practice. But in the Noble Eightfold Path, mindfulness is number 7. In the 5 powers and faculties, the 5 powers and the 5 faculties, it is number 3. Under the 5 powers, 五根五力, Xing, Jing, Nian, Ding, Hui. Nian is number 3. You have faith, effort, mindfulness, concentration, and then wisdom. So it's number 3. It is not a standalone practice. You cannot just practice mindfulness by yourself. I mean, you can. In many modern settings, sometimes companies invite speakers to go and teach mindfulness alone, stand alone. Just practice mindfulness alone. That alone will not lead to enlightenment. It can lead you to become very focused, because it helps you to accentuate your attention and learn how to direct your attention. But why does it not lead to enlightenment? It is because the Buddha intended this practice to be part of the Noble Eightfold Path. With the right view as a starting point, when we apply mindfulness in this way, then there are 4 areas for us to direct our attention. What are the 4 areas? They are namely Sen, Shou, Xing, Fa. Sen, Shou, Xing, Fa, these 4. This is what we call Sati Patana. Sati is mindfulness. Patana is the 4 areas or 4 foundations. So Sati Patana, there are 4 areas. First, Sen, body. Second, feelings, Shou. Third, Xing, the mind, Fa. Fa needs a bit of explanation. The term Fa is not about Buddha Dharma. It is about all things, all phenomena. But all phenomena in what sense? All phenomena as captured in our mind. So this 4 foundation is very inward looking. Inward looking. That's why in modern translations they call it Nei Guan, where you observe inwardly instead of outwardly. But if you look at the way the Buddha taught, this inwardness ultimately leads to the quietening of the mind. It causes the mind to become more and more withdrawn from the senses. By paying attention to the body, the feelings that arise within the body and the mind, the state of the mind, to be mindful of it, to be aware of what's going on. And then also what is in the mind, the mental objects, the Dhamma in other words. Why is this important? Today I'm just going through the reasonings and a bit of the technique. Why is this important? Early on when I shared during the meditation session, I shared about how we all sit for different reasons. So in this case, when we do this form of meditation, it is to help us withdraw from our usual habits. What is our usual habits? Our usual habits is to look outwards. To look outwards in terms of the eye, ears, nose, tongue, body, and the mind. To look at all the variety of things outside. Is it wrong to look at things outside? Nothing wrong. But if we only look at things outside, such that we consider only all these things are important, then our worldview may be a bit lopsided. Then we lose touch with who we are, what is going on in our very existence. So by applying the mind inwardly to observe the body as it is, what is happening to the body? What is the body really? The Buddha, in other words, is laying the foundation, number one, for the mind to become less distracted with the outer appearances that keep on changing. But on the other hand, inwardly, so that we can relate more correctly, more realistically with our own body, with our own feelings that arise, with the way the mind is. And in this way, lead to calming of the mind and later on, insight. Yeah. In other words, first leading to concentration, then to wisdom. Some students, nothing on the screen. Some students in some classes wish that, oh, Shifu, can you just briefly teach us how to do this practice? You see, if we were to go to a meditation center, this practice is a lifelong pursuit. Yeah. Some places may say, oh, sometimes we also do that, huh? Yeah. Oh, we have a 10-week course, we have a 12-week course, and we will cover the 4 foundations of mindfulness. In fact, recently in the chat group, somebody asked about that. Yeah. So I highlighted that, yeah, we will touch on that, but I can't say that we are going to cover in full. Because to cover in full requires a person to, gradually learn the whole process. Yeah. So today I'm just sharing with you in brief, and then maybe the subsequent sessions we'll go do a bit more in depth. Yeah. And a shameless plug, starting 15th of January, yeah, take out your handphone, put it in your calendar. 15th of January is the start of the meditation class for 2018. Yeah, so if you have not signed up, please go and sign up. Don't ask me how to meditate here. Go and sign up and then have a proper meditation class. Yeah, you'll find that SGC sessions, we have maybe like 20 minutes to half an hour of sitting. Yeah, that is more like to help us quieten. For those who have been meditating regularly, yeah, it can be helpful. But otherwise, good to go for a proper class, yeah, to get started. So, if you were to apply the 4 foundations, it helps the mind, it trains the mind in a certain way, yeah, leading to the next stage, the last one, right concentration. Right concentration, within the Buddhist tradition, is to meditate towards the jhana, 4 jhana, yeah, and not lead towards the upper formless concentration. Some of the formless concentration, as compared to the form concentration, can cause the mind to become so quiet and subtle. Yeah, in the Wednesday class we touched on that. Yeah, in some of those concentration, it is so subtle, then the mind is inactive. If the mind becomes totally inert and inactive, then you are not able to have insight. Yeah, and in the Buddha's time, there were those who reached very high, very subtle, very deep concentration, and they end up with a wrong view. They end up with the wrong view that the state that they attain, which is very deep concentration no less, they end up thinking that that itself is nibbana. Yeah, that itself is liberation. But the Buddha, without any shred of uncertainty, refute that. Yeah, that is not complete yet. Yeah. So, right concentration should lead us gradually to the first jhana. There are 5 factors in the first jhana. The first 2, there are many different translations, and in a way it's quite tricky. I'm going to share with you the Chinese translation. The first two factors, or the 5 factors, is 寻思喜乐心意净性. Yeah, first 5 factors of the first jhana. The first two, 寻思, is also translated as 觉观. Yeah, 觉观. How many of you are lost already? I've been going non-stop for the past half an hour. Here I want to maybe take a pause first. Do you have any questions before I continue on this 觉观 part? Just now talking about dog poo and chocolate, still very happy, right? So for today, if you can remember, if there's only one thing you can remember, at least remember about the dog poo and the chocolate. But don't mix them up, okay? Don't mix up and go and eat dog poo and throw away chocolate. And you must remember, this is just a metaphor. Yes, question? Mike, please. Mike. Yes, so that the rest can hear you.
So why is it that I think there is a certain pleasure in dwelling in unwholesome states. That's why we kind of instinctively dwell in that. So I'm just wondering why.
Yeah. So human beings, we are quite ironic, isn't it? In some mental states, although when we sit down and think carefully, we can also agree that, yeah, those are unwholesome states. Those are, maybe we can say, negative states. But you will be correct that sometimes, for some people, not all, it seems like it's quite pleasant to dwell into it. Yeah. And that's why there are so many people sitting in coffee shop ranting. You know, go and la kopi, then, yeah, you know my boss, lor. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I do that also. No, not I do that. People find me to do that. Yeah. So people who sit down with me and do that, then they get a bit of a surprise. Yeah, because I don't play ping pong with them. Yeah, I don't share their dog poo with them. Yeah, I ask them to put down their dog poo, and then I examine the dog poo. Yeah. So, question is, how do we get out of this state? I've shared before. Until we find that, until we see how unwholesome states harm us, taking, let's say, anger as an example, until we see how anger harms us, we will not be tired of anger. The trouble is, when we get angry, we know that we are being harmed, but we think that it's that person harming us. We don't realize that it's our anger that is harming us. Until we see that our dwelling on negative states hurt us, harm us, or at the very least, use up our life. At the very least, it uses up our life. It doesn't improve on the past, and it potentially rob us of any positive future we may have. Yeah. Until we see that clearly. Otherwise, we will continue to delight in dwelling into all these past negative experiences and so on. Yeah. I can tell you all 101 times. I can tell you every single week the same story about how the Buddha described, if a person were to shoot you with one arrow, why should you shoot yourself with the second arrow? You should quickly pull out the first arrow. In today's version, I tell you, if someone throw a dog shit into your mouth, you shouldn't put more dog shit in your mouth. Yeah? You should quickly spit out the dog shit and rinse your mouth with Listerine. This is not an advertisement for Listerine. I do not endorse nor promote Listerine, but it so happened to be, the one brand that comes to mind.
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
I have read that it has this holding of unhappiness and grudges.
Holding of grudges, yes.
Holding of grudges and unhappiness in yourself is linked to ill health.
Linked to ill health.
Ill health will lead to ill health.
Will lead to ill health.
And quite often in cases of cancer, it is stated as one of the causes of cancer that your negativity and your holding of grudges in yourself for so long tends to create it's one of the factors that lead to people getting cancer.
Ah.
How about stroke? Stroke also can cause anger.
Stroke can cause anger. Oh.
So maybe it is an important step is to forgive and let it go. Because if you keep holding it in yourself, it tends to cause ill health and
Yes.
cancer.
Yes. Yeah. How many of you have experienced or have gone through, let's say, bad experiences before? How many of you? Yeah, almost everybody. Is there, okay, listen to the next question very carefully. Is there anyone who has never had any bad experiences before? Yeah, okay, I thought so. Whoever raised your hand, 引起共愤. Yeah, the rest will be like, why so special? I never had bad experience. Let me give you one. Now, I often ask people to do this exercise. I ask everybody to raise their hand. And the point is, for everybody to realize that, yeah, we've gone through our share of bad times in our life. But guess what? We're not alone in this. We're not the only one who have gone through bad times. It doesn't trivialize, it's not meant to trivialize what we have gone through, yeah, mind you, but it's to help us realize that yes, we have all gone through different bad things at different times, but we have all survived. Think about it. Another week's time, and it's the end of 2017. My mom, I'm not supposed to talk about my mom. Somebody, not my mom, not necessarily my mom, maybe it's my mom, but maybe not. But someone has ever told me before, like, oh, Shifu, this year is what year? This is not a good year for you. This year you must be careful in this way and that way. Every year I hear different things. Chinese horoscope is sometimes quite funny. Western horoscope, sometimes you will hear good things, Chinese horoscope, you seldom hear good things one, Either you have bad luck or very bad luck. Right? When is the last time you hear someone say, oh, this year, super good, my horoscope. Like, 不是犯退岁就是犯这个，不是犯那个. Like, every year you have to look out for something. But I rarely pay attention to it. And yes, some years are tougher, some years seems to be quite smooth. But at the end of the day, I tend to and like to think, yeah, at the very least I kind of survive it, yeah. And today, I dare say that maybe it's the Dharma, maybe it's the teachings, but today, when I look back at all those not so pleasant experiences, I sincerely hope that those who did whatever they did, if you are thinking, that I'm hoping that they get their just dessert. No, that's not what I was thinking. I sincerely hope that they do not have to face dire consequences in future. I'm generally more concerned about what will happen to them in future. Yeah, because whatever has happened to me has happened already. And I survived, yay! You know? So I'm more concerned what is going to happen to them. Because whatever they did to me didn't kill me. There were some things that happened to me that almost killed me, you know. But guess what? I still didn't die. Could have left me, I don't know, in a vegetative state, but didn't. Yeah, could have either killed me, leave me in a lombo vegetative state, and only 5% or 1% chance of surviving. And even after survival, maybe, yeah. But none of that happened. So I'm like, well, okay. But I'm not asking you to do that, because I was not able to do that all the time. Yeah, way back when it happened, I wouldn't say I was vengeful, but I was quite down. Yeah. So I don't say that, oh, you all should all just snap out of it, let go. I don't tell people that. Because I know it's not easy. Sometimes it takes time. Sometimes it takes time for us to digest what has happened. For some of us, we just want to find out why. But after all these years, if there's one thing I glean from the teachings and my own experiences, sometimes you just don't know why. You just don't know why it happened. All you know is the fact that it happened. But more importantly, the only thing you can decide is how you're going to let tomorrow happen. So instead of ruining today and tomorrow because of what happened in the past, you have a choice. And this is what I want to share with you, as far as this is concerned. Because, yeah, sometimes you don't know what life is going to dish out to you. Sometimes they dish out Doraemon cookie. Sometimes they dish out a lot of dog shit to you, you know. So what are you going to do? You try to avoid. Yeah? If you see from a distance someone coming to you and, hey, what's your name again? Brandon. If you see someone, Brandon, are you Brandon? Are you Brandon?
No, I'm not.
Oh, this one very smart. See dog shit immediately. No, I'm not Brandon. Then they say, you're not Brandon, ah? Oh, Pia, I want to give you go bar leh. Then, yeah, I'm Brandon. I'm going to give you go bar made of dog shit. Then no, I'm not Brandon again. That contains a key to a condo. Then you're Brandon again. If you see someone coming to you with dog shit, you should try to avoid. Nothing wrong with trying to avoid pain and suffering and problems. Please avoid it. Don't allow yourself to be subjected to unnecessary torture and stress and abuse. But if you try and then it happened and it's over, then you want to ask yourself, do you want to continue to let yourself stay in that state? Do you want yourself to continue to be in that state where you have to relive the whole painful experience again and again and again? It may be something as traumatic as a robbery. It can be something as trivial as someone like passing a snide remark. Oh, today dress up so nice. You know, some people just, I don't know. I've seen people, and when you sit down with them and ask them, why do you say that? And they're like, no ma, I really felt it was a nice dress. You know, some people, what are you going to do? Yeah? You can't change the world. You can try. You should perhaps sometimes try. But if you hinge your happiness on changing the whole world to suit yourself, boy, you're going to be quite disappointed. And especially if you try to change the past, you are never going to be happy. I mean, that's all I can say, you know. You have a choice. Yeah. Because no one can change the past. And sometimes we want closure. Sometimes we expect closure. But what if there's no closure? If you can ask for closure, please ask. Yeah? But if you are not able to get closure, what are you going to do? You wake up in the train with dog shit in the mouth, and no one in the train. Yeah? Ding, 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 ding. You're woken up by the ding, 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 not by the dog shit. Ding, 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 ding. Then you wake up and you see everybody leaving, and then you see dog shit in the mouth. What are you going to do? Maybe you can go to the train master and ask them, but before you ask, you should take out dog shit, right? And maybe you try to ask, who was the one who put dog shit in your mouth? Meanwhile, the train station people find it so funny, they cannot, you know? But they still try to help you find. But in the end, because you're so crowded, they couldn't figure out who put it in. What are you going to do? Or let's say, they managed to find that person. After 10 years, they found out who put the dog shit in your mouth. Before that 10 years, are you going to let yourself to be miserable for 10 years? Are you going to put the dog shit in a acrylic box and frame it up, put it on the wall, and look at it every day? I shall find out who put you in my mouth. Do you want to define your whole life by that one moment? Why should you? Exactly. Why should you? You should not. But why should you? There's no reason why you should define yourself in terms of the bad behavior of others. People do stupid things. Yeah? I mean, when I was in primary school, I do stupid things. People do stupid things. I sometimes tease people. People tease me. What am I going to do? I mean, for all you know, some people that I consciously or unconsciously bully in the past, I told you all before, I twist the paper clip and then put it onto people's chair. People sit down. Wow! I mean, yeah, I would admit, not proudly, you know. If I have a choice to go back and undo that, I would really undo. But I can't. But those people who sat down, I mean, now I think about it, it's really stupid, you know, but small kids do stupid things. What are you going to do? If you were one of them, let's say you didn't know that it's me, and you sat down, do you want to spend the next 30 years, 40 years miserable, wondering who put this paper clip, and then frame it up, and then fold it, and then put it in your wallet, yeah, and every day before you sleep, take it out. And after that, when you get married, before you get married, let's say you are a guy, you tell your girlfriend, let me show you something that's a very important part of my life. And then your girlfriend is like, what is this? Oh, it's 2 paper clips, not 1, 2. It's handmade. It is doubly twisted, around 7.5 tons, perfectly engineered to do one thing, to pierce through your school uniform and lightly puncture your butt. And your girlfriend, meanwhile, sitting there is like, why are you telling me this? Well, today I want to propose to you. And so I want you to know every single part of my life. And this is one crucial part of my life. And I feel that if we're going to spend the rest of our life together, you need to know this. Would you do that? Imagine if you are the girl. Or what if a guy proposed to you and you are the girl, and you're the girl who sat down on the thing that somebody made, and then the guy say, will you marry? He said, well, before you propose, let me tell you something about me. Look at this paper clip. Now imagine, let's say somehow you get married, you should get married, and you have kids, and your kid comes of age. At the age of 5, you sit down with your son, and you take out this thing. Son, I want to show you this. That'd be crazy, isn't it? Why should you define your whole life, maybe not your whole life, why should you define any part of your life based on the stupidity of of one person, and not just one person, the stupidity, the stupid moment, just a moment of stupidity of that person. Maybe it's not just one time, a few times. But why should we define ourselves in terms of others? We shouldn't. Admittedly, as I said, I've done stupid things like this. And if I have a choice, I will go back and change it. But unfortunately, those stupid people who have done stupid things to you all may not have met the right person to realize it's stupid. And maybe one day when they realize it's too late, maybe it's in the next life, maybe it's too far gone. So they cannot come to apologize to you. So what are you going to do? Wait until 30 lives later. Finally you meet him. Then you take out. And you're the strange kid who is born with a paper clip stuck in the body, stuck in the butt. Now I know why. The moment I saw you, I know it's you. 30 lives ago. You stabbed me with this paper clip. You fold it and then put it in. Why? You don't have to. But it's easy for me to say, to tell each and every one of you to just move on. Easy for me to say. But it's up to you to do it. All right? I hope you can remember at least the first part, the teaching on right effort. Because even if you do not want to purify your mind, to liberate sentient beings, at least give yourself a peace of mind. By purifying your mind, you purify yourself of dis-ease, of unhappiness. You help yourself to truly experience peace internally. Don't torture yourself beyond what your tormentors have done to you. Put our palms together. 愿消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛，起立。